Hey, good afternoon. It's 4 o'clock and it is time for you to kick back. Hopefully, you can enjoy some time with us. Grab your favorite glass of maybe wine, a little champagne. If you're home already and you have a little happy hour time, you can join us. We like to call it a little wet your whistle. Oh, that's our favorite. And that's actually the sound that it makes. Chuck Gillentine is with us from Defiance Ridge Vineyards. Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. Did we not have the most incredible wet your whistle last Wednesday?
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. That young lady is so talented.
Yes.
It was a pleasure to be there and listen to her live, and I think we watched it at home a couple times that night.
Did
Got
you?
on YouTube. It was
Yep.
fun. It was
It
a lot.
was so fun to see your reaction. I mean, again, I had a chance to have her in our studio last fall, and I was like, anybody that watches her on The Voice or watches her YouTube videos, you do not really understand the magnitude of her talent. So it was fun
Uh,
to watch you, my mom, who had never seen her live. Your jaw was just dropped.
it's amazing a musician that just can pick up any song like she does
Yeah.
and go. She's just very talented and so young. I pray that she has a great career because she's got all the talent.
She does. If you don't know what we're talking about, Ruby Lee joined us for a special edition of Wet Your Whistle Wednesday that we do every Wednesday for you at 4 o'clock. And again, Chuck is the owner of Defiance Ridge Vineyard. Sometimes you're going to have us out there, and sometimes we'll be joining from my house, from the vineyard. We've even talked about doing something at your house, which I think would be awesome. I'd love to do that
Oh, I
when
would
we
love
get
to
some
also.
warm weather overlooking the water, right?
Yes, you. I think you would like to do it there.
I agree. Maybe we'll sit down and be me and my husband and you and your wife. I think
Yeah,
that
that'd
would
be
be,
great. I know
yes.
she would love it. You'll have to deal with our little Frenchies, but that's
That's
okay.
okay. You know, I'm a big dog lover. If you're all tuning in, here is what we're going to talk about today. It is not called what's behind me champagne, but it's de Noir, right?
Blanc de Noir. It's 100% made out of Pinot Noir.
Okay. And is it bubbly?
It is bubbly. You can only call champagne champagne in Champagne. That's one of those crazy French rules that they made up years and years ago. So this wine, the Blanc de Noir, is made in Champagne, but
Okay.
this wine is actually from Oregon, where they grow great Pinot Noir, and it's a Blanc de Noir. It's a 2017 Blanc de Noir.
Okay. And so if someone is getting this, it is, let's give a little background on this. It is what type of grape? It's a Pinot Noir grape?
It is Pinot Noir grape. Most champagnes are either Pinot Noir or Chardonnay, mostly Chardonnay, I would say. But Pinot Noir second, and then a grape called Pinot Meunier. Is a very small percentage that is made into champagne or sparkling wine.
So this, what does it stand for? Black?
It it
White from black?
it's yeah it's a dark grape and made into a white wine, so it sits on the skins very little. When they make champagne, they pick the grapes very very early because they want a lot of acid, and then they convert it into champagne or sparkling wine. Vintage champagne, which has a date on it, is usually 3 to 4 years before it's disgorged into bottles,
Okay.
and some even much longer. It's just courting the producer and the big champagne houses and champagne that have been doing it for literally since 1300s.
That's great.
The monks started making champagne way a long time ago, for grapes that they handled themselves, and that's really how the start of champagne started.
Oh, fascinating. So that's one of the things when you tune in the afternoon for Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, you're going to get educated. We're going to have a little fun. We're going to talk about events coming up a lot this weekend at Defiance Ridge Vineyards and things to put on your calendar when you're heading out west and you're like, you know what? Let's get some family and friends together. Let's head down 94. The easy opportunity for you is to get right off at the very first vineyard, and that is Defiance Ridge Vineyards, the very first winery there. Great food, great time, gorgeous location, which you'll see in some of these pictures that I'll drop through If you've not ever been, I want you to try it out and then do us a favor and let us know what you think, what you grabbed. There's also a wonderful membership that we've been talking about that you can be a part of at Defiance Ridge Vineyards. And then you scroll through all the different wines. That top left one, by the way, that you will see is in fact what we're talking about. It's just a different vintage. So you said ours is what, 17?
This is 2017. This was made by a friend of mine named John Alban in Oregon, and John, these grapes actually come from a little area just south of Portland called Chehalem Mountain, and he makes really uh, a champagne or a sparkling that's very much like a French champagne. It's yeasty. It's got like baked bread aromas, strawberry shortcake,
Oh, now that sounds good.
nose in it, and it's Pinot Noir. Blanc de Noir is not as crisp as Blanc de Blanc, which is champagne, which is Chardonnay.
Uh-huh.
So with this wine, actually, you can eat it with red meat, and because most sparklings are really good with oysters and shellfish and some and things like that. This wine is great with some red meats and I would say pates and food like that.
So yeah, I was looking up earlier, and let me just, if you just do a Google, search, but this is why I like you to tune into this show, because we give you the great information. Like Julie was just mentioning, she said, wow, great information. If you type in Blanc de Noir food pairing, it says courses might include, again, tenderloin of veal or pork in a reduced wine sauce, grilled halibut or tuna steaks, sauced shellfish, vegetable or cheese souffles, sauteed rabbit, risotto with chanterelles, and then a potato chèvre
So
galette. Again, that's when you're getting a little higher end.
champagne goes with just about anything. I
I
mean,
don't
if
think
you're in
I'm
a
going to be
food
cooking
pairing
bread with those Chuck.
situation, well, if you're in a food pairing situation and you if you're having trouble trying to figure something out, champagne always works. I mean, it's like a go-to that you can always go to. So.
And so, if you're having friends over and you're like, hey, I've never incorporated champagne in the courses that I'm doing, where would you put it in the order?
Well, normally it would be early,
Right.
as an order of course. Uh, in fact, all our dinners when we're serving champagne, we either it's usually with the first course or it's with the dessert courses.
Okay.
Especially if we're serving something that's not a huge dessert or maybe cheese. Obviously, cheese we would use champagne.
And so, one of the things also is talking about taste. Since I wasn't able to travel to you today, I don't have it in front of me, but I was told it was had a little more oomph to it, little body to it, more of a fruity characteristic
Yeah,
in terms of
it's
notes.
not heavily bubbly
Okay.
like your Blanc de
Like a
Blancs
brute.
or a Brut,
Yep.
but it's a little bit more. I don't want to use the word fat, but it's just not as acidic.
Okay.
But it does have a little bit of flabbiness. Um, it's a totally different. Just like wines, champagnes have totally different wine flavors and things.
And this is what I thought was really interesting. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is Chuck Gillentine, a good friend of mine from Defiance Ridge Vineyards. He is a part of our Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. Feel free to ask any questions if you have never incorporated, again, a bubbly, sparkling, or champagne in any type of hosting that you've done. He's the master on it. He's going to be able to give you some of that information. Here's some interesting facts that Chuck gave me. Champagne, again, if you're just tuning in, only can be called champagne, what you're seeing here behind me, if it's produced in Champagne. $7.5 billion produced per year, but by 2031, it's expected to be 13 billion. Why such the rise in champagne?
Champagne has always been a wine that goes up and down according to economies, and it's just years ago it was very popular and then not so popular, and I think it just goes to the popularity of the grape.
Hmm.
And right now, if you follow futures of champagne, purchasing champagne, you could see things are really expensive, and especially the French champagnes. They are astronomically up there. Uh, that's what's great to go to, the coastline of Sonoma and up into Oregon and buy great sparkling wine, which is made the traditional way that the champagne's made, and you can, it's much lesser cost.
So if somebody's trying and they want to have a really good bottle of actual champagne, where would you tell them to start?
Oh my goodness, are you talking West Coast winery?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would say you go to some place like Schramsberg in Napa,
Oh, yep, yep.
which makes great sparkling wine. You go to Gloria Ferrara in Sonoma, or you go to Domaine Canaris in Canaris.
Mhm.
Then if you go up into Oregon, there's several wineries that make their own. I love champagne from a little place called Flaneur. It's outside of Dundee Hills. There's several smaller wineries that produce incredible. One called Soter, Sotor, that makes an incredible Brut rosés. In fact, we had one last night, and a Blanc de Blanc, which makes incredible sparkling wines.
And so a lot of people might think of Dom Perignon, right? You gave me some statistics. They produce 5 million bottles per year,
That's
folks.
amazing.
That's it's
And
crazy.
probably at an average cost of $200 or $300 a bottle. And that's, Dom Perignon, the older, the more costly of if you can find it.
Yeah.
But uh, for that kind of price and that kind of production, that is just enormous.
Well, here's what I thought was funny. So I'm a big fan of. If none of you have ever heard of the musician Teddy Swims, please look him up. Teddy, I found on Instagram. I don't know, probably 3 years ago. Jim and I went out to see him perform at a small venue in Birmingham, Alabama. The guy will blow you away. He is the most incredible singer right now, and just rising and rising. Well, he evidently got his first #1 song yesterday, and he was on
Wow.
Instagram. He was on Instagram, Chuck, and he was trying to tell everybody, thank you, thank you, thank you. And he was trying to open his bottle of Dom, and it finally popped open and it was just overflowing. I'm like, oh my God, that is way too expensive for you to just be shooting all over the place.
Sounds like maybe it was a warmer bottle. Um,
Yes.
that can happen. Quick.
Well, I think he was just doing it really probably for effect to like shoot it out. I'm like, don't, but just shoot cheap champagne then. Don't shoot that.
If you try to get a champagne really cold fast by sticking it in the freezer, that can happen,
Okay.
and it also can happen if it warms up too quickly and you're trying to open it. So that cork has got so much concentrated gas in it that you just need to watch. Be careful when you're opening a bottle of champagne. They have these little things now that you can put over it and open where they won't go anywhere, but they can be dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Please, when you're opening them up, do not open it up towards your face and your eye. Really,
Okay,
truly, you know the movie. It will shoot your eye out. Yes,
it,
you would
it
with a
can.
bottle of champagne. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the Blanc Noir again from Defiance Ridge Vineyards. The one that Chuck is tasting is a 2017, but on your website, I found one, and this is the thing: people can actually order directly on your website. There is a 2015 on your website. That's $53. Alcohol is 12.5% volume, 750 milliliter bottle. Again, that's on there. And that's the great thing is you can go to their website, Defiance Ridge Vineyards, and look through and scroll through just like this. It'll give you an opportunity to see all the different offerings that they have and then purchase what you would like. Otherwise, just to enjoy a gorgeous day out on their patio. We were asking Chuck just the last couple of weeks that we were there, how many people? You said you had 800 the one day.
Oh, we've had 800 a couple times this year. It's going to be a busy year. Depending upon the weather, and the weather's been pretty good for us most of the year. For wintertime, it has been.
There you are. You popped off on me for a second. So
Okay.
did you say 800?
Oh, we've done 800 a couple times. In the busy days in the fall, I think we've hit 1,000.
Oh
Uh,
my gosh, have you really?
yes, I mean it's crazy, and it's thank God I have an incredible staff that can pull it off.
Yes. Well, and you've got, okay, so there's a lot of events coming up that I want to talk about this weekend and in the coming week. So we had been talking over the last month about getting ready for Easter and the adult Easter egg hunt. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, so that's Saturday, and we're we've got over 100 signed up, which is nice for this kind of event, and then I'm sure that will increase. I think the last 3 or 4 days that we've had like 30 people sign up. So we've got all these little gifts that are going to be in these eggs, and we will hide them. And you'll there's some the big gift is a wine is a wine membership gift.
Mhm.
But we're giving bottles of wine away, wine tastings, and a lot of stuff. So it's well worth the opportunity and the fun time that you'll have hunting for these little eggs.
And then you also are talking about how many people have already reserved their spot for your Easter brunch. You
Yeah,
still have some spots
we're
left?
we I think we do have a few spots. We decided since the weather's going to be so great on Sunday, we opened up one of the patios, so we enlarged our reservation list up to I think for about 60 or 70 more. So we may have some spots open now. You just need to call in and see.
Okay.
But we did open it up for a few more spots.
And again, if you want to go to defianceridgevineyards.com and then go to their calendar, you can look at all the different events. They have different hours now since we got into as we are into spring. They do these big trivia nights, but this Friday is Disney trivia. And when you see those go onto their website, you want to get those tickets right away because they get on to sell out wait list pretty quick. I know you had friends that sold out right away. Disney trivia. The adult Easter egg hunt will be Saturday from 12 to 2. And Charles Glenn, if you've never seen him, Charles Glenn duo will be there on Saturday from 1 to 4. The Easter brunch, 10 to 1. And then Kevin Babb. Tell us about Kevin Babb. He's performing there 1 to 4 on Sunday.
Yeah, Kevin's has performed for us for many years. Incredible vocalist and fun guitarist that plays a lot of fun music. So Kevin's been kind of just a little ace in the hole for us for many years.
I love that. And then something that's coming up that I want you all to mark on your calendar because some people are just now realizing that this big solar eclipse is coming on Monday, the 8th. And then they're trying to carve out, oh, where are we going to watch it? You're having a watch party.
We are having a watch party. There's tickets available on the website, and it should be a very interesting day. I know we're not 100%, but we're close here. So
And so, what are your plans for the day? What time are you opening?
we'll open 11 normally,
Okay.
and it will just be normal business 11 to 5.
And people need to make sure they have the proper glasses to watch the
Yeah,
solar.
I think we give away the first 100 people
Okay.
that show up. We give away glasses.
Good. Yes, get those. And again, make some plans if you can. Maybe take the afternoon off, and that would be a great location. That view, again, if you have never been, just showing you some pictures of Defiance Ridge Vineyards and our wonderful Chuck, again, the owner of Defiance Ridge. He popped off on us for a second. I think he might be getting a phone call. If you have never been there before, I want you to check out the website, defianceridgevineyards.com, and maybe try the and I can't call it champagne, the bubbly that we're talking about today. The version again that he's been talking about is a 2017, but there is a 15 that you can see on the website. I didn't get a chance to get that, so when I go next time, I want to try it. I just went ahead and picked up a glass. You all know that I'm a big Cabernet fan, so Cabernet is what I'm going to have. This has actually been in the bottle probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, so we'll see. A lot of people always wonder, will the wine be able to continue to be good if it's been closed up for a few days? I'll let you know after I take a sip of this. Chuck, you went black on me. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I lost
You
the
lost
feed.
connection. Okay, so we're going to wrap up with Chuck, and I'll just give you the rundown one more time. DefianceRidgeVineyards.com is the website I want you to go to. If you've never been, put it on the calendar. Maybe this weekend, grab the family if you haven't made your plans yet for what you want to do for Easter, the Easter egg hunt, and Easter. You may have an opportunity to still be able to grab some tickets for that. Again, Beckett Moore, our aspiring meteorologist, was talking about how gorgeous the weather is supposed to be. Hopefully, cross your fingers, the rain will hold off and move maybe into Monday. But there's an opportunity for you to go and do that. Let me give you a quick plug before we wrap up our segment. If you have an opportunity tomorrow morning, live at 7 a.m., we are going to be at Bike Stop Cafe for our live show, and we would love to see you. We'll be there from 7 to at least 8, maybe a little bit after that. We're going to bring all of our merchandise from the show. So if you've been looking for t-shirts, if you've been looking for the long sleeve shirts, the jackets, the journals, or the coffee and tea mugs, come on by. We've got some cool giveaways. We're going to be visiting with Dr. Jody Devonshire, the owner of Bike Stop Cafe. We're going to talk about why they are such a wonderful destination spot for people to hop off the Katy Trail, why people that are bikers and walkers and runners love to go there as well. Bike Stop Cafe, just off of Main Street in the St. Charles area. So come on by, have some breakfast with us. I know there's a ton of people that have already committed to coming right about 6:30. They're going to be there. We're setting up beforehand. We'll start the show at 7. I'll be there. My husband's going to be there. My mom will be there. My dear friend Sally will be there. Our team, Michelle and Hannah, will be there as well. So that's tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. I would love to see you. So join us for that live show tomorrow morning. Crystal said, I went to Defiance a couple weeks ago, and it's such a gorgeous place. Thank you for supporting. Again, I'm always saying that. Support our sponsors. Can't wait for the summer and warm patio weather. It's right around the corner, Crystal. And in fact, actually, the 70s and 80s are coming this weekend and in towards Monday. Well, everybody, thank you again. One more time, tons of different wines for you to try. And then the one today, don't call it a champagne, but I do want you to go in and try it out or pick your favorite. When you go, let me know what you fell in love with. And also, I'd like to know what you had food-wise, because their food's incredible as well. We will actually be in person with Chuck next week, Wednesday. We'll be there, and it'll be interesting to see what we get a chance to try next week. And that's the fun thing. If there's anything, by the way, that you've ever had there that you would like us to talk a little bit more in depth on, because again, it's about enjoying the vintages, enjoying the wine, but also having a little education along the way. Everybody, thank you so much. We do these bonus shows for you every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. It's called Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, and we've had fun with you this afternoon. Thanks for tuning in.